Hi, it's Lance Willoway. Here we're in the week right before Christmas. I wanted to talk a little bit about hellebores and what we've got coming on. As you can see me, this whole house is full of different varieties of hellebores. This is Vivy Velvet here. And we're starting to get a little growth. The warmer fall here has kind of got them waking up a little bit early, but it's okay. We have a whole process where we go to our coolers and hold them. We're also lowered the temperatures in these houses. Because hellebore is so tough, it can take really cold temperatures and do really well. So we have just minimal heat barely going on these things just to keep them around like that 30 degrees. One of the things you can see here too is we got really nice roots. These are really heavily rooted, and we've got nice roots, and that creates really nice buds, and you can see that's just starting to come up here. And so that's what we're really trying to look for, is really get this thing to be ready on the right time. There's some great varieties that we grow. This one in Plants at Work, we've got the whole series with the Frost Kiss series, which is a really nice series out of Denmark. And so hellebores are something you should look at. Right now, they are this is the older foliage here, and you see all the new coming in. I wanted to cover a little bit in today. It's been cold here this last couple days, started yesterday and Sunday. Today our high is like 15 degrees here. We got down in single digits last night. But I want to talk a little bit about plastic, and we've covered this in a few of our videos, but why it's important. So we have two sensors here. They're remote hobo sensors for temperature. So all they have is a simple probe on the end. And basically what this does is pick up the air temperature. And we have one that's underneath the plastic. So this house just sealed up. This sensor is running at about 31 degrees, and this sensor is running about 33 degrees. So we're about a 2-degree difference between the two. And that's just a little bit. That's that ground heat coming up and helping. So, but because we have the layer of plastic on the outside, we're not as cold. So by sealing up the house with plastic, you can see we're keeping that heat inside the house a little bit, even though it's only a 3 mil piece of plastic. But all these things kind of work together to help keep the temperatures more moderated rather than using a heater. So one of the things too, these being remote, we have a relay. So basically the RX unit, which is what's basically the computer for these, takes the data in, and then either Wi-Fi, or now they sell, this particular one's Wi-Fi based still, but now all of them are cellular based. And so basically that allows us to be able to read it through an app. So you can, wherever you can get cellular or Wi-Fi signal, you're able to read these. So I could read these before we even came out here from my office and see what the temperature was doing. It also tracks data logs it. So you can see the highs and lows and how it works by about every 10 minutes. It's collecting a data point. So we have pretty good tracking how it keeps it even. And that's one thing that's really important too. If you have a crop that you don't want to have wild swings with the temperature, sometimes this plastic works really well. There is, in the spring, a point where we have to pull the plastic off. And we use this on cherries, the same kind of setup like this for all our prunus, the cherry varieties. We lay those down in the house, but we have to pull the plastic off. There's a point where it gets hotter under the plastic than it does above the plastic, and that's that inversion or flip. And so that's when it kind of tells us we need to take them off. Typically that's in late March, early April time frame. It's right before we start to ship. And what we're trying to do with the cherries there is we're trying to keep them colder underneath for longer. But when they start to get too hot, because we'll pull that plastic on and off, we wait till later in December. So there's a little different process with that, but same thing. This just helps us monitor what we're doing, and we can do it remotely instead of having to take a heat gun and walk out and check all this stuff all the time. All right, we moved over to some things we've been working on here in December. This time of year, a lot of times we get stick cuttings. What we're doing here at Avon is we have this tenting system that we created with electrical conduit. It's 3/4 inch. And then we're using a combination of these LE trays. And basically what these are, the small plugs, they got a cocoon and a mix that's in them. We're putting 2 of these per cell, dipping in a rooting hormone, sticking them in. We've had really good luck with this system. We're getting really good high percentage takes in this. Really, we don't do a lot of misting in these. It's mostly stays about 90% relative humidity inside. We have a monitor, another hobo sensor that's in them. We're doing currently Cami-cypress, juniper, and some boxwood in this method, and having real good success with most all of it now. So we feel like this is the right thing. We have underneath the bench, underneath the trays is we have a boiler, and we have water that runs through, and we're running about 90%, or not 90%, we're running about 68 degrees is what the thermostat set in here. So it varies a little bit based on sun and things like that and outside temperature. The outside temperature outside, we're running about 50. So we don't really want to get a lot of the, we're not trying to grow these really hard, but we do want that bottom heat to encourage the rooting in them. It will take about 8 weeks to get some roots going here. So they're not a fast rooting kind of plant. So it does take some time, but by spring we can transplant these into gallon program, or take 3 plugs and go to like a 2 or a 3. So this is another one of our tunnels. In here we have juniper. This is Brody. We do Taylor. We've done a number of different varieties, a lot of uprights. We also do like gray owl. We've done with Tony in this setup, some other ones, but we really like this. Seems to work really well on our junipers as well. And it's kind of the same setup with the Cami-cypress mops. We're also doing a number of other ones, Tusanana, Crispa, Cedar Rapids, just to name a few of the ones we're doing. But so we've had good luck with all those. And we also do some Thuja. We've done Tater Tot. We've done Green Giant. We've done Emerald. We've done Techni. So we've done a number of varieties, and it's worked on all those as well.